Hello, I'm Jay from Volunteer Audio, and this is our 2024 Road Glide CVO ST. This is one of our demo bikes, and I absolutely love this bike. I think Harley's done an excellent job with it. With our audio system, it absolutely rocks. But the other part of the sound that's very lacking is the exhaust. This is a performance build. It's a big motor. It's got a lot of power, but it doesn't sound like it. So today I'm going to show you what our friends from Khrome Werks have as a solution. A perfect match color, an amazing sound. I'm going to show you how to install it and let you hear it before and after. So hang out and watch the rest of this video. All right, so I think the first thing we need to do, we need to let you hear what it sounds like now. Now, when this bike came out, again, performance bagger, shorter, taller bags actually to give you more clearance as you lean over. It also has a lightweight titanium exhaust with a carbon fiber tip. It's amazing looking, but the sound is pretty bad. Let's start it up and let you hear it. All right, so I think it sounds a lot more like a Honda, not like a Harley. So we got some work to do, but our friends at Khrome Werks have a great solution. Let's check out this exhaust real quick and talk about the finish and the color. First off, both of these, both options are available at volunteeraudio.com from Khrome Werks. This is called the Obsidian colored exhaust. Do not get confused. This is not scorched chrome that came on some of the other CVOs. All the CVO STs have this black chrome finish that we call Obsidian. It's a PVD finish, and Khrome Werks does the factory exhaust, so they do an exact perfect match of this. It's going to be available with two different tips. This one is the tracer tip. We also have that 45-degree edge tip. It's just that cut tip that you used to see on the older CVOs. This is going to be a direct bolt-on. It's not going to be titanium, but it is going to be lifetime warranted on the finish, and the sound is awesome, and that weight is not that much more. Now, they don't offer yet a tip that I really like with the carbon fiber that comes on the muffler. So in this video, I'm going to be changing out the tip toward the end to the digital camo tip from Khrome Werks. I think it looks very, very similar to what comes on it from the factory, matches the other trim on the bike. So we're going to be adding that accent at the end after we get them installed. All right, so now we're just going to get ready to put them on. It's going to be simple. We're going to remove our rear bags. We're going to start unbolting those mufflers, so follow along. I'll show you how in just a couple minutes we're going to transform this sound. All right, so to remove our bags, it's going to be simple. We have the Volunteer Audio Stage 4 Hertz kit in it, so we're going to have to disconnect or unplug our speaker wires. That's just one plug outside of the bag, and remove our two retainers. So I'll start by removing the two retainers that bolt the bag on. I'm going to lean it out just enough to get to our electrical plug here. All weather tight, quick disconnect. Let's set our bags over to the side. All right, so now that we have our bags off, we can easily see our exhaust. And this is a very simple muffler to remove. There's simply two bolts holding a hanger to the exhaust, and our muffler is going to be pre-tapped and threaded for that. And then we're going to have one clamp right up here. It's a 15mm bolt that's holding that factory muffler onto that stock exhaust pipe. Now we are going to loosen up this one heat shield. It's just a clamp that runs around it. So we could do that with a straight screwdriver or probably a 7 or 8mm socket. So we'll get both of these little shields loose and we'll start taking that muffler off. All right, so I'm going to start just by loosening this clamp. It is an 8mm, so I've got my Milwaukee battery ratchet here. It's going to loosen that up some. Let's go the opposite way. Let's loosen that. We're just wanting to get this shield where it's loose enough to move around. There's one more up here in the front. Just going to give us a little bit of clearance as we take this muffler on and off. All right, so next I'm just going to loosen the exhaust clamp. Again, it's a 15mm. So I'm going to take it quite a bit loose because this bike's got a few miles on it. It's got about 1,000 miles on it now. So that exhaust could be a little harder to get off than when it was new. So we're going to loosen the clamp up enough that we've got some good wiggle room. And we'll be reusing this clamp on our new muffler. Next step, we're going to take a 13mm. We're going to remove these two bolts holding the muffler on. We'll be reusing these bolts later as well. So now that we have that unbolted, we're just going to grab a hold of that muffler. We're going to start twisting and wiggling it and working it off of that factory exhaust. As you push up and down, it's just going to open up that clamp area and make it a little easier to remove it. It's coming slowly. There we go. We've got our muffler off. So let's look at it compared to the one we're putting on. This is the muffler we'll be doing. And as you see, Khrome Werks already has our mounts on the muffler, and they already have the same recess in the side to clear our swing arm. Now our muffler is going to be roughly the same length. So when we get done, we'll put our bags on. Before we tighten this all the way down, we'll take a tape measure. We'll make sure we're the same distance out on both mufflers. All right, so the only thing we have to do to prep changing out this muffler is just taking the clamp off of that factory muffler, transferring it to our new one. This is the hardest part of this job. It always is getting the clamp transferred over. Let me loosen that up a little further. That should be plenty. Let's pry it out here. Our screwdriver. There we go. All right, so now that we have it on, as we get this mounted, this is going to spin around so that clamp actually faces downward. And we're going to tighten it up and reposition it real well as we get to that point. We'll spin it a little close to that. All right, so at this point, we're just going to start our muffler onto that original exhaust. Working it around till we get it on there, and then pushing forward. Again, just like you did before, you may have to wiggle to get it to go on that pipe. And the more miles you have on the exhaust, the more soot there is, and the more you're probably going to have to wiggle around on it. Just like when you took it off, you're going to have to wiggle it some. Needs to go just a little bit more. All right, so we're starting to line up with our holes now. So take those original bolts that you had. I didn't move this any, so I should be pretty well the same depth as the original, and it looks like it from here. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this muffler all the way down. We'll take the other one and we'll adjust it in and out to match wherever we put this one. All right, so at this point, we're just going to tighten up that front clamp. This road glide is going to fit really well. I don't really have to worry about impacting the clamp. But I'll tell you from experience, if you've got a tri-glide, one of the 3-wheel motorcycles, like maybe an RG3, you're going to want to impact these clamps. They have a tendency to want to work themselves loose. Not sure why it is just those models, but it definitely does it. So we always impact those. All right, so now that we have that tight, I'm going to tighten the 2 clamps holding this exhaust shield in place. Make sure we put it back where it should go. My exhaust is cold. If you've been riding a bike, definitely be careful not to touch this catalytic converter. All right, let's move to the other side. All right, so again, just going to loosen this clamp. One holding the shield in place. Just making sure that's loose. Now we'll loosen the big clamp. So this side of the bike actually has a smaller inlet on the muffler. So you can't put these on the wrong side, it won't let you. It is the same size socket though, holding that clamp in place. So remove these 2 13 millimeters. That side always slides off a little easier. So again, let's prep our muffler that we're putting on. All we're going to do is really just change this clamp out. This muffler's not been squeezed in before, so it's always a little tighter putting that clamp on, and we'll take it off the other one. Just getting it past that outside edge. Once you do that, it generally fits pretty good and allows you to spin it around where you need it. Let's look and see what's going to be facing upward. All right, so I need to spin my clamp around a little bit more. So it's facing downward, which we've got. Now let's go back over to the bike and see if we can get this to slide on. All right, slid right on for us. If you don't move these and you just take your exhaust right up to where they used to be, you're going to be really, really close to being the same length, but we want to make sure that they're the exact same from one side to the other. So we're going to use a tape measure here in a second. We're going to check that before we tighten it down. So you can actually tighten this part and it slides. That's the part you don't want to tighten quite yet. This just helps your muffler hang good and level. Let's grab our tape measure. I'm going to start with the side that I've already locked down. I'm just going to measure off of this bar. And I'm right at 6.5 inches with this tip. So I'll double check this side. I'm just a hair past 6.5 over here. Well, that put me pretty well right on it. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten down that bolt, and then we'll change our tip out here shortly. All right, I want to tighten this up really tight. These clamps have a tendency, they can go to the bottom out. And if you go there, you're going to be really good. Let's not forget to tighten up our clamps holding that shield on now. All right. Now, I will tell you, the tip that's on here, this tracer tip, looks really good. And if you get looking at the actual bike, looking at the accents, you have these machined fins on the heads or other accents that really goes along well with. So you don't have to change the tip to have a good look. I like the carbon fiber accents on this bike, and I like the way that this new tip matches those. So we're going to install the digital camo tip on both sides, so I'll show you how to do that. We're going to use a 5/32 Allen, and we're just going to loosen the bolts that are holding that tip in place. Taking them actually all the way out. So all of your Khrome Werks 4.5 inch exhaust have multiple tip options, and Volunteer Audio stocks all of those on our website to make it easy to customize it and make it your own. So we're going to continue taking the bolts out. There's one on the side, one on the bottom. Sometimes the tips are left and right. In this case, this design works on either side, so it's the same part number for left or right. And we do offer them in pairs as well. They sell them in individuals in case you did a 2-into-1 exhaust. We'll take this singular tip and just work it around here and slide it till we get it out. The coated finishes are always a little tighter on your tip removal. All right, that tip was just a little tight there. We're going to position our new tip with the Khrome Werks logo facing up. It's got a nice American flag on either side. Lining up our screw holes. Always keep me a little rubber hammer because that hurts your hand. Normally, once you get it past the lip, it goes in much easier. And once you're all the way in, it actually lets you spin it. So we're going to line it up here with our bolt hole. Starting both of these in. I love the look of this tip. It reminds me of the race tip, which is just, it's just simple. Very simple design. So much better exhaust flow out of this muffler. It's going to add some power as well as that sound we're looking for. Now they come with just a standard packing in them, and I think you're going to find out it sounds amazing just like it comes, but they do have various baffle options you can add, just bolt in. Most time those baffles will actually fit through this tip style. So you don't have to remove the tip again to change that baffle if you decide to. All right, so now that we have both mufflers on, I've swapped both tips out. I think it looks great. We're going to go and go back together, put our bags on, and then I'll let you hear it. Now, Now we did make sure and remeasured those mufflers, made sure they were the same depth, which is going to allow us to go right back in with our bag. You also want to get back and make sure they're straight. If for any reason they're twisted, you can loosen that clamp, you can twist that muffler back straight, and then you can tighten it back down. Second bag. Remembering to plug back in our speakers. If you have any light connectors, you might want to plug those in as well. All right, looking down, it looks good, still looks straight. I think it's gonna, looks is one part of it, but let's listen to it now and see just how big a difference we have in that sound. All right, so it sounds awesome. It has that deep, low rumble as you hear the bike cut off. Sounds amazing. There are a couple steps above this if you want it to be even louder. There are some baffles that can be put in that actually close off some of the holes, giving you even more sound. The loudest one is called the Ripper baffle. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't want to be that obnoxious. And the other steps are you could do a hideaway header in the front. It's going to go behind those factory Obsidian heat shields, but it's going to give you a higher flow. It's going to delete a really hot part of your exhaust and make it quite a bit louder by doing that hideaway header up front. Now we have a couple of these CVO STs as demo bikes, and one of them we're going to do a full 2-in-2 duals on in a later video. So definitely make sure you check that out. But if you bought one of these new bikes and you think it doesn't sound like it should, Khrome Werks definitely has, I think, the highest quality exhaust made here in the US. And because they do that factory finish, as you look here, you'll see that muffler absolutely matches perfectly with that stock front exhaust shield system. So, and I love the look of this new tip. I like the American flag on the side. I like the fact it goes along with our carbon. Even though it's digital camo, it is so close. It looks so good. I'm happy with it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out this exhaust, we've had a couple tags come up in the video that would lead you straight to it. You can also go to the description. We'll have a link taking you to these Obsidian mufflers as well. If you have some questions about it, you need help, give our sales team a call, 1-844-30-AUDIO, and follow along with our step-by-step videos to help you install it. We always like the fact that we can empower you to put your own parts on, show you each step, what tool you need, and save you that labor money. Comment below, let me know what you think about the before and after on the bike. Is there anything in the future you want to see us do related to this outside of what I've already mentioned? And we have a video already covering the different baffles, so check that video out, letting you hear what each baffle sounds like. But I think these Khrome Werks right out of the box sound amazing. And we love supporting these American-made products. Made in Lincoln, Nebraska. They do a great job. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.